Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rustic Roots Homestead. Today I am just creating a quick intro for a video that I filmed a few weeks ago because I completely forgot to do that and I am just realizing that now. So in the video I am showing you how I recycle my berry containers and use them for planting seeds. So it's just a way for me to not throw away a bunch of plastic and just be a little bit more conscious of the waste that I'm producing. And they're actually really awesome because they create this perfect little greenhouse effect that helps seeds germinate and grow. And so far I've had really good success with using the little berry containers. And for someone that does not have a ton of money to be able to put into buying all of the fancy seed trays and greenhouse structures and building a greenhouse, things like that, it is a really cost-effective way to get seeds started and going, and they work perfectly fine. So I'm excited to show you guys that, and then later on in the video I'm going to show you and kind of just voiceover of me decorating some of the areas in my house. I really only decorated the main living areas and I didn't decorate any in the bedrooms just because I don't often do that. So I am getting my fall decorations out, which is super exciting. I absolutely love and adore fall. My favorite season hands down is fall, and then second is winter. So I'm really excited to have my decorations up and for it to feel like fall. I've got tons of fall recipes coming. I just made some pumpkin snickerdoodle cookies the other day and they were so good. And on my Instagram I posted a reel about making pumpkin spiced creamer, and it is way better than Starbucks creamer. It is so good. So if you're interested in that, go ahead over to my Instagram and check that out. I'll have it linked down below. But it's a pretty chill video. I will be doing a voiceover for most of it just because when I was doing my seeds I did kind of just a sit and seed with me and didn't really talk much. We actually had family in town at that point, so I just wasn't talking to the camera very much. And then when I decorated for fall, it was kind of a combination of tidying up the area and getting the fall decoration out. The boys were in the house with me, and so they were a little bit chaotic, and Briar was following me around quite a bit. So just to keep the noise down and the background noise down for you guys, I'm just gonna do a voiceover. So it's a little bit different than my typical videos, but I really hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you in our next video. Okay, I'm getting ready to plant up a few of my seeds, and I am going to be using some of these plastic containers that I have left over from my berries. And what I do is I just get the empty containers and fill them up with some soil. And you want to fill them up a decent way because when you water them, they're gonna compact down a little bit, so you'll lose some of that volume. Get this one. And the soil that I'm trying out today is the Pennington Rejuvenate Soil Mix. So we will see how that goes. I've never used this soil mix before. Let's get it all. And these are seedlings that are going to go into my fall garden. There's Maverick and Odie. Hello. We're gonna have a fire, so that's what all of that is over there. Okay, now I'm gonna take off my glove before I get the seeds out so I don't lose any seeds. And one, I'm going to plant Brussels sprouts. And the other, I am going to plant some marigolds. So I think we're gonna do Brussels sprouts in here, marigolds in here. These are what the Brussels sprout seeds look like. They're super tiny little balls. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trench out a little space right here. And another one. Hi, Maverick. You're all dirty. No. Okay, Maverick came and disrupted the flow, but we're gonna get these little trenches built, and then because I don't have a free hand, I'm just going to kind of drop some little seeds in here about that much. And I will thin these out as they grow and separate them into some hex trays, or just kind of thin them out based on the space that I have before I actually get to plant them out into the garden. So those are all covered up nicely. And then I'm just going to cover this, and I will set this on top so I know what it is, and I will set it aside. And that is how I get my seeding done. I have some nasturtiums and baby broccoli, kohlrabi, 2 squash, and another thing. But if you've never seen marigold seeds, that is what they look like. They're very interesting. Here's a better look at the seeds. I have never seen marigold seeds, so that is a very interesting looking seed. It is a couple weeks after I planted these seeds, and so far my broccoli and cauliflower, and I believe my Brussels sprouts, are doing really well. I need to check and see what nasturtium seedlings, like very tiny, like after they germinate, look like, because I am not 100% sure. I know for sure my marigolds have not sprouted yet, and I'm not sure if I planted them correctly. I may have to go back in and try again, but I am not sure if there's enough time. So far we have pretty good germination on everything else, really just waiting on the marigolds to come through, because I'm pretty sure the nasturtiums have germinated for the most part. But everything is going good. I still need to plant a few successions of cauliflower and broccoli and Brussels sprouts still. And then in the garden itself, I need to directly sow some carrots and kohlrabi, but I have to wait until it gets a little bit colder for that, just because it's in South Georgia, it still is very hot. This week, I believe it said low 80s for the highs, or low to mid 80s, and then in the mornings and at nighttime, I believe it was going to be in the mid to high 60s. So still having some pretty warm weather and a lot of weather fluctuation. So waiting for that to get a little bit cooler before we plant some of the in-ground crops, just so they don't die. I did find, though, that when planting carrots, that you are supposed to put either a board or something over the soil where you have planted them. That way, once they germinate, you can remove it and they'll continue to grow. I'm not 100% sure the reasoning behind it. Maybe so that the seeds don't get dug up or they don't get dried out. Maybe the moisture and the warmth. Not 100% sure, but I did see a lot of people saying that that's what worked. Especially, I did watch the Roots and Refuge vlog. If you haven't watched them before, they are amazing. But she was saying that she does a piece of plywood over them, and then once they germinate, she just takes it off and then they continue to grow. So I'm going to try that and see if maybe that works. But so far, I have not had any carrots be successful, so I'm going to try that. I also still have many rows that need to be formed in the garden. I only have about 4 or 5 rows going with vegetables in them, and they're doing pretty good. I will give you guys a garden tour and update here soon, but so far so good. Some things not doing as well, some things got stunted, and some things just were planted too late, and so I need to have a better plan for next year as far as when I'm starting seeds and when I'm getting them in the ground. Granted, we did get the garden set up much later than anticipated, so that has a lot to do with it as well. But that is pretty much how the garden is going. Anywho, I am really excited to see how the fall garden goes. Okay, now we are hopping inside to get the house decorated for fall. This is my dining area, and I am just getting it cleaned up. Those towels right there that you saw me move, they are so beautiful and I love them. I believe I showed them in a previous video, but I can't exactly remember. They are a waffle knit, kind of, or not a waffle knit. What do you call those? I guess a waffle knit. I'm not 100% sure. That could be completely wrong, and I'm just blanking on what it's called. Anywho, I got them from TJ Maxx, and they're absolutely beautiful. and I absolutely love them. There is another set that is orange, cream, and navy blue, whereas I got the red, the cream, and the green. But I really want to go back and get the other one, and I may end up doing that. Right now, though, I'm just wiping down my table. I used my orange vinegar cleaning solution that I make here at the house, and I'm wiping down the table, getting any dust off of there. And then this is my runner that I got a couple years back from TJ Maxx as well, and I absolutely love it. I believe I have a green one for Christmas time that I really like as well. I haven't been able to find any in that style for the other seasons though, so I'm definitely gonna have to keep an eye out for those. Oh, okay, before I put the runner on, I realized that the floor right here needed to be vacuumed, so I'm vacuuming it up, getting any crumbs and whatnot. The cats attack my plants over by the window all the time, and they are consistently knocking it out of the plant holder, so there was some stray dirt, and then as you can see, Maverick's bowls that were previously baby bowls. We have not gotten him big boy bowls yet. They were hiding in the corner over there, so I was just vacuuming up some of his mess as well. But once we get this vacuumed, then we are going to start the fun part of actually getting the table decorated. Okay, we are finally getting back to decorating the table. Here I am putting on my burnt orange runner. It has pumpkins and leaves stitched into the fabric, and it is just absolutely beautiful. I love the pop of color that it brings to the kitchen, and I always have a hard time making sure that it is all the way centered, especially with the table turned like this. Usually we have it turned the other way, but recently we have it turned this way. I like to change it up every now and again. So I'm going to push the table back to the wall, and then I am going to get the little platform stand. I found this at TJ Maxx as well. I have really been trying to pull in some, this is a really good candle. It's a soy wax, and it's made with essential oils. It's an apple orchard. It smells delightful, and it has none of the ucky fragrances or things like that. Anywho, the platform. I'm trying to bring more wood into my decor because I am slowly trying to change the style of how the house is decorated. I'm really loving the warmer tones with woods and the matte black and kind of a rustic style, maybe a modern rustic. I'm not 100% sure on the actual style, and I'm describing it horribly, but this is one of the pieces that I found really meshed my styles together, so I grabbed that from TJ Maxx. And then I have my willow tree figurines on there and a few little decorative wooden pumpkins that I may have found from Walmart a couple years ago, but I don't really remember. My willow tree figurines are my favorite. I have so many of them, and I am constantly collecting more and more. Here you can see them. I love them so much. The two little girls is for my sister and I, and then the two boys are for Waylon and Briar, and they're just so precious. I absolutely love them. Okay, now we're gonna decorate my coffee station, and this poor little area gets neglected often, so I am gonna wipe it down and get everything reset before I start putting decorations on, because there was soil and coffee and spills and all sorts of other mess on the top of here. So now I'm bringing in my green plant, which I don't remember if I show in this video, but I actually ended up moving that little green plant, and I have a reddish plant, like the big one sitting next to the coffee stand. I have a small one. Oh my gosh, look at how cute this gnome is. I found him at the Dollar Target spot. He is the most precious thing ever, as well as that glass pumpkin back there by the coffee pot that lights up as well, and it is super cute, especially when it's dark and I have it turned on. It is the cutest little nightlight. Anyway, how many times can I say cute and skip over different things that I'm talking about? But that little green plant gets moved, and I put a different pot with a different plant there. And now I'm putting leftovers away from the night before. We just had family leave earlier this day, and so I was cleaning up from our breakfast. We went out to Huey's on the river, which is one of my favorite places to eat if you go to the downtown Savannah area. Huey's is like a New Orleans style kitchen diner thing. Not even a diner, it's just New Orleans style restaurant, and their beignets are absolutely delicious, and all of their food is really delicious as well. I usually always get some sort of eggs Benedict, whether it's crab cake eggs Benedict or fried tomato eggs Benedict or the regular, whatever it is. I always get that. But anywho, I am now wiping the counters down before I get things moved around. I feel like I wipe my countertops probably 5 million times a day, if I'm being quite honest. I wipe them off constantly because somehow, in some way, there's always a mess. So that is what I'm doing. If you feel the same exact way, give this video a thumbs up, because I know I can't be the only one that wipes their counters down so often, and it still manages to have crumbs on it after, maybe like 5 seconds after. That green plant right there is a pothos that I actually propagated from my other big pothos by the window, and I think by far pothos are my favorite house plant. I just love the way that they drape and vine everywhere. I was actually looking at some plant clips to start clipping up some of the vines, that way they're like climbing up my window or climbing in a certain way to kind of showcase the vines a little bit more, and to keep them away from the cats, because they think that they are toys, and I have had a lot of plant casualties recently because the cats just keep gnawing on my plants and it's driving me nuts. Okay, I'm almost done wiping my counter off, and then here in a minute I will get to decorating with some fall decor. All right, here we go. These 3 gnomes, aren't they the cutest thing? I don't know what I was doing with my face there, but they are my favorite. This little one with the acorn, I believe we named him Herbert. I got him last year. I believe that I got him from TJ Maxx again. Usually all of my gnomes come from TJ Maxx. The other 2 also came from TJ Maxx as well, and I got them. Well, okay, so the acorn one I got 2 years ago, and the other 2 I got last year, and they have just been the perfect little addition. Anything gnome, especially whether it's fall or Christmas, I'm a sucker for it. I absolutely love them. This little wooden sign right here says sweet as pumpkin pie, I believe, sweet as pumpkin pie. And I have had it for a couple of years now too. And then I added a few little accent pumpkins, maybe one here, little pumpkin. How cute. Now my living area, I am just getting a few things moved around. That is actually one of my Christmas gnomes, and he just manages to stick around all year long. So he's gonna go down there with my M and my router, and then I eventually put a pumpkin down there with him too, just to add something else. Here I am bringing in those other 2 gnomes, and I also have 2 pumpkins in my hand. And what I did was, one of the gnomes has a yellow sunflower on it, so I put the yellowish gold pumpkin with that one, and then the one that has the auburn colored pumpkin on it, I matched with that pumpkin. So it was pretty matchy, and I absolutely loved it. This area of the house probably took me the longest to get decorated, because it was a lot of moving around and figuring out where I wanted to put the other pieces that I typically had there, as well as making sure my gnomes were even and set up the right way. I am very OCD when it comes to that. So I went into my bathroom and grabbed this ginger pumpkin candle that I got from the Target dollar spot a few years ago, just as decor. I've never lit it once, and I actually believe that Briar has scraped some of the top off, and then the cat knocked some dirt from one of my plants in the bathroom off into the candle. So it's hanging in there, but it has definitely seen better days. So now I am moving the random movies from next to the DVD player and putting them back where they go. The kids are notorious for getting DVDs out and then never putting them back. And then I took the two candlestick holders and the marble owl and stuck it down by the DVD player. Here is a little overview of how everything turned out. I absolutely love it. I will definitely be looking to see if I can find more fall decorations. I thought about going thrifting to see if maybe I could find some there, but for now, this is what we're working with. Editing Haley here, and I just wanted to wrap up this video very quickly. I'm not going to chat your ear off because I know this video was full of chatting, but I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I promise that more interesting videos will be coming soon. I am trying to get the hang of things and then also trying to get on a good schedule and making sure that I'm not showing you guys the same thing over and over again. So I promise I have a plan and the videos will get better, but like I said, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in our next video. Bye guys.